Welcome to Kids Express.
Join us as we see kids express their love for Jesus
while developing their character.
on Kids Express!
Welcome to 3ABN Kids Express. Today we're going to meet someone with a very special story about what happens when we witness to others and talk to them about our friend and Savior, Jesus. We're going to also discuss the topic of frustration. Do you ever get frustrated?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But how to overcome it and identify it is pretty important. I'm Aunt Francine.
And I'm Izhar. Can you guess where in the world today's speaker comes from? Can you guess what state? If you guess Texas, then you're correct. Let's welcome Lexi.
Hi, Lexi.
Hi.
We're so glad you're here joining us. Thank you. And we're glad that I know you wanted to come in person, but things happened and we're doing it via Skype. But thank you still for having this time to learn about Texas. So tell us a little bit about Texas. I know we have these tortillas and salsa. Do you like tortillas and salsa?
Yes, I love tortillas and salsa. They're so good.
Do you like it really spicy hot?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not me. I don't like it too spicy, but I know Izhar, I think you like it pretty spicy,
Yeah, not
don't
too
you?
spicy, but yeah, I like spicy.
Oh, I
Add
thought
flavor.
you had a competition at school where there was the spice contest of tasting things.
we did. That didn't turn out too well.
It didn't turn out.
Yeah,
It was too hot?
yeah, it was really
Yeah.
hot.
So tell us about Texas.
Texas is a pretty known state. We have the biggest capital, which is Austin, and we're most known for our flowers, which are the bluebonnets. So those are really pretty. And we have also a very known theme park, which is called Six Flags. So that's really fun when we like to go hang out after school days sometimes to go to the theme park. So.
Yeah. Now, I know that there's a lot of rodeos there in Texas, and I used to like going to rodeos. And I think rodeo means roundup. Is that true in Spanish, Izhar?
Rodeo?
Rodeo, I think it means roundup. And I know that they have a lot of rodeos. Have you gone to any of those?
Not really,
Okay.
but there is this game where you have to like get on a bull and it knocks you off, but there's like a safe protected pad. I think I've tried that once.
Oh,
And
wow.
I fell off kind of right away, but it was super fun.
Yeah, that's a big deal over there in Texas, I think. So what do you like to do there in Texas? You talked about the amusement. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to go and hang out with my friends sometimes, or just kind of hang out with my dog because I love my dog so much.
Nice.
And I like to go hang out in some places. I like to hang out with my mom too, so we go or maybe just go out and have some food once in a while to have a break from school and work. So yeah,
That's
that's
kind of
what we
fun.
do.
That's kind of fun. Well, one of the things about Kids Express that we like discussing is discovering how people like you are sharing Jesus. So I know we mentioned something about a special story, but tell us a little bit about how you're sharing Jesus.
So my church and I have gone out and received books to people and hand them out to them. And there was this one time where me and my dad were going to hand out books. And we knocked on her door and she had opened it, but she had so much bruise on her arms and her legs. And we asked her, can we talk to you about Jesus? And she said, of course. So we talked to her and we prayed to her and we gave her the book. And then we later met up with her a few weeks at HEB when we were handing out books. And she said that she was considering baptism and that she wanted her own Bible. So my dad gave her a Bible. So.
You said she had bruises on her arms, so you felt like there was a need of, she wanted to have friends to be able to talk
Yes.
to and pray with, or?
Yeah, she had a lot of bruises on her legs too. And that's what made us kind of be like, yeah, I feel like she really needs this book. And we did an extra prayer for her because we knew that she needed help. And when we met her at HEB, she looked so much better. So I was so proud of that of her. So.
Wow. Do you have any questions for her about that, or?
No, I mean, what other types of foods are there in Texas? I haven't been there myself.
Yeah, we are known for our fruits, which are the grapes and the strawberries. And we also have hot dogs, and we also have Tex-Mex, so we have tacos. Those are good too. And then, let's see, what else do we have? We have these things called, it's a very famous food that me and my family make. And it's called, I think it's the enchiladas. We make those. Yeah,
I
I
like
really like
Mexican
those.
food too. Especially like tacos or like these chips or
Yeah.
burritos or enchiladas. I think, yeah. And that is pretty popular there in Texas. They like that. So do you do anything else about, let's go back to sharing Jesus. Is there anything else that you do in your community to be a witness?
Yes, so I help out with my church with the videoing and the live streaming, and I do special music sometimes once in a while. And I'm a junior deacon there, so I help out with cleaning the church or just setting up the church for Sabbath. So,
Wow. So tell us about, you said you're helping out with the VG, you said, and some of the cameras as well, or you tape your church programs?
yes, so I mostly help out with the videographing, the lyrics, the Bible lyrics, the song lyrics, and I help out with the outro and the intro. And if there is a problem, we put out the screen that says technical difficulties, or when we're about to end it, we put my senior pastor on saying about how we are so welcome that you are here and that you watched us. And let's see. And then we do graphics and we set up the background for the church so that it looks nice and pretty. So when people get on, they can see this beautiful background of the church.
It's nice how you make people feel very special. Yeah. So do you have a question for her about sharing Jesus? I know she was talking about music. What do you
Yeah.
think?
What instruments do you play?
So I play two instruments. I play the ukulele and the clarinet. I played the ukulele when I was in fifth grade for school, and now that I'm in sixth grade, I play clarinet for school band.
So do you have a particular instrument that you like over the other one, or you like them both?
I have a favorite one, which is probably the ukulele because the clarinet is kind of hard once you get to like kind of get used to it. But right now, I feel like actually the clarinet is my favorite, even though sometimes it has problems with like setting it up and with the reed because
Yeah, the reed.
there is, yeah, the reeds are like super hard. And then there's this thing called the embouchure, I think. I think that's what it's called. And it's this wooden stick that you have to kind of like wet it with your mouth, and then you kind of have to put it on there and like twist on the little silver thing.
Yep.
Because if you don't have it, then it won't play because
It has
it's
to
like this
vibrate.
big hole that you have to go. Yeah, it has to vibrate basically.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So it seems like you are very involved with your church and your school, and you enjoy doing things. So it seems like, is there anything that if you wanted to be more like Jesus that you feel like you could work toward and grow a little bit your character development? What would that be?
I would say that I need to work more on my temper and my kindness towards others because I had this friend where she didn't say something that I liked, and I kind of blew off on her, saying like a lot of rude stuff that I probably shouldn't have said. And I honestly really regret it now because she was probably one of my bestest friends that I had.
So
So I'm still trying to work on that with others.
so your friendship is still hurting because of that? Your
Yeah.
frustration, so you let off your frustration. Do you ever get frustrated too at school, Izhar?
Yeah, sometimes playing sports, I'll
Yeah.
get frustrated because, you know,
You feel like they should be able to kick the ball in the goal.
yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty competitive at soccer ball, for example. So what do you do when you get frustrated?
I usually try not to confront anybody because I have a pretty bad temper too, so I'll just walk away, cool down, and come back and try to have the spirit of the game.
Try to have the spirit of the game. So even though you lost because somebody missed the goalie or you passed it to them and they didn't get it, yeah, that's hard to do. What have you tried, Lexi?
I like to pray sometimes, and I like to talk to the person about how I feel because I personally think talking to people is the way to go because they can understand how you feel and how they can resolve the conflict. My teacher, my English and homeroom teacher, says the 3 A's, which are to conflict, which is you tell them how you feel, you ask them for forgiveness if you did blow off on them, and then the third one is just pray about it with them. Just be like, hey, I feel like we should pray because I feel like we can still like be friends and stuff. And I still try to maintain my cool sometimes, but sometimes I don't think. So I just kind of like let it blow off. on some occasions. But after when I do, I tell them I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know why I did that. Like, I'm just so sorry.
It's hard to think before we talk. I think we all can identify with that. And I know it's good that you identified that you get frustrated. And so when you're getting into that moment is being able to identify your feelings. And I like how you said, sharing how you feel about it. Like you were talking about using those I statements, like I feel, and this is why and that's very powerful because that really helps us. And you're taking control, like you're owning up to it. And I think that's very powerful too, that you're kind of saying that, I'm making these statements that I blew off or I don't want to deal with this right now. And so sometimes you have to take away, like Izhar, you were commenting, like sometimes I have to just step away and take control because you're right, it's mind over matter a little bit. You have to think about that. So so those are good things and then understand why you feel like that. Sometimes even communicating your feelings of why you feel like that. Do you know why? For example, like Izhar, I'm going to use you, I hope you don't mind, but like with Izhar on a game, for example, if he is so frustrated that somebody missed the ball, for example, he has to almost think, well, maybe it's not that big of a deal, like put it in perspective. That's hard to do, right? Yeah. And
because if not, a human friendship is more valuable than winning any game.
And that's so much what Jesus would want. It's not so much what's going on about the immediate, it's realizing, and I'm glad you're realizing that sometimes we need to filter our frustrations, that it's okay to feel frustrated, but we need to filter of how we're going to deal with it and then deal with it. And I appreciate that you said with your friend, and that you identified like saying, I'm sorry. I'm so glad that Jesus is our example. Let's read Proverbs 15, verse 1. Can we find that here? Because it talks about how our words need to be kind and soft, just like you were talking about it, Lexi.
Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
So yes, we want to have the love of Jesus and use our words to speak kind and not to be quick with our unkind words, right? So I think it's time for a question. And if you have a question, please email us at kids@3abn.org. We'd love to hear your questions.
This question is for you, Aunt Francine, from Elizabeth, who lives in Michigan. She asks, how can I encourage more of my friends to come to church if they often look at it as boring and unamusing?
That is hard. What do you do, Lexi, if you try to invite your friends? What would you do?
I would try to make them feel special about it, and if there was a hard time that they were going through, I'd be like, hey, I feel like we should go to church together. Do you want to come with me? And if they said no, I would say, I'm still going to pray for you.
Yeah.
And if they did, then wonderful.
I think that's powerful. How about you, Izhar?
Well, I know for our church we have a Pathfinder group, and I would encourage them to go out to the outings because I know no matter if you want to go to church or not, that will be fun, and that will slowly integrate them.
You're right. We do want to have fun with our friends and make them feel special. I'm so glad that God gives us the gift of time and opportunities to help us grow so that we don't need to be so snappy with other people, but to show the love and compassion that Jesus has demonstrated. Thank you so much, Lexi, for being a witness and sharing the love of Jesus and even leading someone else to baptism. That's really special. And you too can be encouraged and watch what you say. You never know that you might be leading someone to Jesus because by the words that we say and the love that we share, we can be the only Jesus some people see. Thanks for joining us on Kids Express.